Tja, dass dieser Weg kein leichter sein würde, das hatte ich mir schon gedacht. Aber wir haben es ja trotzdem geschafft und sind zumindest mal an etwas angekommen, wo ich mir denke, dass wir jetzt doch mal so allmählich ins Finale, also ins Finale reinrücken. Ja, herzlich willkommen zurück bei Asterigos, Curse of the Stars. Wir sind auf der Kehlungsspitze und hier geht's dann eben weiter. Ich habe alles furchtbar kommentiert, ich bin der Daniel und ich stelle mich da als meine Strahlen und guck mal, was passiert. Beamen bitte. Astrohenon. Da sind wir durchgekommen. Die Tafel kann man sicherlich lesen. Tafel zur Feier der Fertigstellung des Astrohenon. Im Jahr 537 des Zeitalters des Wissens schwor Alator, 17. Archon des Klerus, vor seinem Tod, dass er einen Tempel auf den Kehlungsspitze bauen würde. Den Göttern der Sterne gewidmet und im Gedanken an die friedvolle Herrschaft seines Vorgängers Vespa, Archon des Klerus, der den Menschen zur Demokratie und Frohsinn führte. In diesem Tempel werden die Menschen auf ewig daran erinnert, den Göttern der Sterne dankbar zu sein und langanhaltenden Frieden mit einem perfekten demokratischen System anzustreben. Im Jahr 1300 des Zeitalters des Wissens führte Petrius, Archon des Klerus, die 4. Renovierung durch. Da steht auch Minerva und wir haben hier einen Teleporter. Aktivieren. Können wir auch mal gleich schon mal den Heiltrank nochmal mitnehmen, der da hier fehlt.
Stop right there, all of you. There's still time to turn back.
That voice. It's him. Ignore him. Just keep moving. Humanities.
I must admit I'm somewhat impressed by your foolish persistence, Minerva. To think you're actually standing with Serene. You truly are out of options, aren't you?
It's possible. Or perhaps I'm really no different from you.
And Hilda, why have you come? What's happened in Aphes has nothing to do with you.
That's not true. And I know you won't just stop at this city. I also wanted to ask you.
I have urgent business, so I'll give you time for only one question.
Ideale oder Absichten ansprechen? Was waren denn seine ursprünglichen Absichten? Boah, wenn ich jetzt wüsste, was hier das Bessere ist von beiden. Ja, die Ideale klingen halt Ideale, ne? Was ist denn hier? Brauch mal kurz eine Bedenksekunde. Was hat er denn ursprünglich mal gewollt? Er wollte den Fluch von Aphes. Ja. Nämlich das.
I've heard much about you in Aphes, Senator Humanities. Up until now, some even believed you were originally acting in Aphes' best interests. But the ritual you want to perform now, is this truly what you want to do?
Why not ask Minerva? She's supposed to be the one who understands me best, is she not? I once said, if I weren't Aristor, you wouldn't like me. Do you remember how you answered me back then?
I said I still would.
No. You would just look at the tools in my hand and assess the value they could produce. And me? I would look at your robes and think how unobtainable a woman who wears such finery is. I don't see Minerva when I look at you. I see only the Aristoi. And when you look at me, you see not Eumenides, but only a commoner.
Love lets us break through all constraints. That was how I answered you at the time. You still remember that conversation? Human.
Just as you also remember. I told you, I've never changed. I feel more than just hatred and responsibility for this city. I truly want to do something for it.
Human.
But now I see clearly. Since you cannot understand me, how could you possibly support my ideas? I will no longer seek agreement. May we meet again in the stars.
Wait, what of the Northwind Legion, Human? Where are they?
And here I was thinking you didn't care about outsiders. Interesting. It seems I may be somewhat better even than you.
Damn, he's gone! What did he mean just now?
I'm not sure, but I have a bad feeling about this. No matter what happens, we'll face it together. Understood?
Thank you.
Dann brechen wir voran. Moment mal, kann ich mit den beiden nochmal reden? Haben die nochmal irgendwelche Dialogoptionen jetzt vielleicht?
What Human said just now was way out of line. I don't understand how he can disappoint everyone who's ever cared about him.
He's always been like this, but I don't regret choosing him to be my husband, nor stepping up now to stop him. I'll make him take responsibility for all that he's done.
Are you alright?
By the grace of the gods, it would appear so. I was just reflecting on what Human said to you just now. I don't think he should be making this decision on everyone's behalf. If we're doomed to be ignorant fools, then we should continue to struggle like ignorant fools. Where's the harm in that? At the very least, I like how we are now, and I still hold out hope for people.
Ihr schaut euch auch um. Hat etwas eure Aufmerksamkeit erregt? Das ist euch aufgefallen? Diese Art, ich kam früher oft hierher. Deshalb bin ich ein bisschen traurig, dass hier nicht mehr alles so ist, wie es einst war. Ihr kam früher oft her, aber war die nicht. Ich war ein Kind armer Eltern, ja. Aber A.K. und Petrus adoptierte mich und wir reisten oft hierher. Der Grund dafür ist kompliziert. Kurz gesagt, wir gaben uns beide große Mühe, die Erwartungen des jeweiligen anderen zu erfüllen und uns gegenseitig auszunutzen. Trotzdem haben wir uns manchmal auch ganz gut verstanden. Ich kann mir schwer vorstellen, dass jemand wie ihr bei Petrus leben konnte. Dieser Ort ist nur eine Art Trainingszentrum, durch das er mich auf das politische Schlachtfeld vorbereiten wollte. Meine eigentliche Heimat waren immer die schwarzen Straßen bei den Hilfsbedürftigen. Aber ich bin wahrscheinlich die Einzige, die so darüber dachte. Warum wollte Petrus ein Kind adoptieren? Schwer vorstellbar, nicht wahr? Ich glaube, der hat mich adoptiert, um den Sklavenaufstand zu unterdrücken, den ich damals angezettelt hatte. Außerdem wollte er wissen, ob jemand, der als Sklave geboren wurde, sich die Gnade der Götter verdienen könnte. Meine ich damit, dass die Götter nicht jedem ihre Gnade erweisen? Er glaubt, dass Sklaven zu ihrem Leben als Sklaven bestimmt seien, weil die Götter die Menschen nach Klassen getrennt hätten. Daher vertrat er die These, dass Sklaven keinen Stenit benutzen sollten, weil die Götter sie sonst dafür bestrafen würden. Deswegen erzürnte ihn auch die egalitäre Politik von Eumenides so sehr. Aber wenn ich es richtig verstanden habe, sind eure Gesellschaftsklassen doch durchlässig. Jeder kann aufsteigen. Die Möglichkeiten gibt es, ja, aber nicht jeder schafft es. Petrus hielt mich für eine Art Wunderkind unter den Sklaven. Also investierte er viel Mühe in meine Erziehung und förderte mich, sodass ich Archon werden konnte. Aber mir ist sehr genau bewusst, welche abscheuliche Dinge er getan hat, um seine Macht zu sichern. Meine Gedanken über ihn sind schwer mit ein paar Worten zu beschreiben. Abscheuliche Dinge? Ja, zum Beispiel hätte er wohl keine Skrupel, uns allen zu schaden, indem er die Resonatoren manipuliert. Das ist natürlich nur Spekulation, aber er ist dazu in der Lage und ich wäre nicht überrascht, wenn er es täte. Ich konnte eure Gefühle mit Eumenides geradezu spüren. Ja, aber nachdem ich gesehen habe, in welchem Zustand er ist, habe ich meine Entscheidung bereits getroffen. Eumen ist nicht mehr der junge Mann von vor 1000 Jahren, der unermüdlich auf eine bessere Zukunft hingearbeitet hat. Die Zeit hat jeden Einzelnen in Aphes verändert und ich muss mich mit ihnen gemeinsam verändern. Egal was Minerva ihm gegenüber tun wird, ich werde ihre Entscheidung voll und ganz unterstützen.
For the people.
Für das Volk. Leuchtet so schön. Da wartet jemand auf mich.
That's my father.
Ach nö. Das war mal der Papa, oder? Die Augen sind rot.
By the gods. He's controlled by humanities, just like the Templars.
That monster!
I feel his aura is different. Don't you agree, Minerva?
I do. Unlike the Templars, the energy in his body is fighting back against the control. Iranius said that this condition is known as the boundary. It's when the soul's been opened, forming a channel through which others can enter. Since it can be opened, naturally, it can also be closed.
How exactly is this done?
Tranquilite is the key to the spell. If the channel between his soul and human's consciousness were closed, then he'd be freed.
Understood. You'll cast the spell, and I'll support you. Hilda, Minerva and I will free Harold from Human's control, but it's up to you to draw his attention.
What should I do?
Anything that grabs Harold's attention and weakens him will do. I believe you can do it. As for the rest, let us handle it.
Alright, and thank you both.
Na gut, dann werden wir uns mal mit ihm anlegen. Zum Glück hat er seinen großen Schild nicht dabei.
Papa?
Hild, why are you so obsessed?
The north wind blows to the south. That's what you taught me. I can't turn back now. Besides, Papa, I'm certain you know that Eumenides is planning to use the Nexus's power to control everything! You must have stayed here because you were going to fight back against his scheming. You are the commander of the Northwind Legion! If he gets his way, everything we've done here will be meaningless. Our mission would be meaningless.
I must stop. I'm being forced to attack you.
I'm not afraid to fight you, Papa. The adherents will free you from Eumenides' control.
Na super, der eigene Papa. Autsch. Da brauchen wir noch eine Heilung. Autsch, Autsch, Autsch.
Be careful!
Okay, wir halten aber ganz gut stand, also wir halten auch genug aus. Oh, jetzt hat er so ein Schild. Oh nein. Reicht es? Das ist genug, Papa?
Harold's been freed. It's a miracle. It went even better than I anticipated. Your father's fine, Hilda. You can stop worrying now.
By the winds! I'm so... Thank you!
My child, come. Let me have a look at you.
Papa!
Komm, du hattest doch noch Hitpoints. Du kannst uns nicht einfach umkippen. Genau, so ist gut.
Don't look so sad. Are you all right? I told you to leave this place.
No! I can't! Eumenides still needs to be stopped! He has to pay for what he's done!
By the winds, you're still so stubborn. I won't let...
Commander, may I interject?
Mistress Minerva.
I hope you can understand that Hilda is the key to saving Aphes. I know you love your daughter dearly, but she's far more capable than you imagine. We can't do this without her. I'm sure you also understand that we must put a stop to humanity's plan, and we're running out of time. Besides, you can't continue to fight humanities in your current state. We were able to close the channel he used to control your soul only temporarily. If you get near him again, he could reopen it at any time.
Oh, may your mother forgive me. Hild, as commander, I order you to pursue Eumenides and stop his ritual. This is your new mission.
Papa, are you...
If his powers can affect all of Aphes, then they can also affect Ambari. This is his real desire. It's not just liberating a city, but I'll leave this matter to you now.
Understood, Commander. I accept this mission.
Good. Hild?
Da haben wir wohl nochmal Dialogoptionen. Möchtest du nochmal reden, Harold, ja?
By the way, Otto's with the adherents now. He's doing well.
Otto's still alive? That's wonderful.
What about the others? Where are they?
They're already on their way back. I watched them leave Aphes myself. Eumenides knows I don't trust him, so he feared the Legion being here would hinder his plot. Once we finished what we'd agreed to, he couldn't wait to send the Northwind Legion out of the city, and I found an excuse to stay. Because I knew you were still here. And Eumenides planned to use me against you. But in the end, I lost.
Oh, Father. We'll be reunited with them soon. I swear it. Minerva said that your aura is really strange. Do you feel ill at all?
I'm fine. Me attacking first must have worked. The Spellbreak gem was quite useful after all.
The Spellbreak gem?
Eumenides' apparition must draw energy from the Nexus before it can take form. Because of that, he's vulnerable, as long as you disrupt the energy flow between them. I discovered that Marble was researching a device that could break the flow of magical energy. The whole time I was arranging for people to gather the materials and make it, but nobody knew what my true goal was. Eumenides couldn't monitor us at all times, but that gave me the opportunity to finish it.
I thought you just quietly accepted Eumenides' dangerous ambitions.
At the time, I had no choice but to tell you that. The fewer people who knew, the better.
I understand. I understand everything now, Father. When I was in the Glittering Deeps, I was so stupid. Worrying about you, insisting on staying in Aphes.
You don't need to apologize. I'd thought of everything, but I didn't anticipate that your stubbornness would lead to the final chance to fight back against Eumenides.
Fragen, wie es sich gegen Eumenides auflehnen wollte. Ja, wahrscheinlich mit dem Apparat, oder?
You planned to rebel against Eumenides from the start?
Rebelling against Eumenides was just a consequence, not the goal. In order to ensure that the objective of Operation Ashwin could be achieved, I had to consider lots of possible follow-up measures. What makes the Northwind Legion elite is that we don't just look at how things appear on the surface. I was sure to make arrangements.
Arrangements? So you mean our comrades who left have other tasks?
Lifting the King's curse was just one objective. We also need to eliminate the possibility that the Ephesians' curse could harm others. The timeline's a little messy. All I can say is that when I realized what the real threat was, I started to plan. But if word that I failed makes its way back to Ambari, Ludwig will immediately start preparations for a battle against Aphes and Eumenides. And if that comes to pass, it will be a terrifying war of magic. Hild, today you've given us a new chance.
By the winds! I will stop him!
This Spellbreak gem was damaged in the battle with Eumenides. Although it can't harm him anymore, he should be considerably weaker now. Take it. It's no longer any use as a weapon, but it can still provide some protection.
Anti-Zauber-Edelstein. Ich guck mal ganz kurz, ob das jetzt so ein Schmuckstück ist. Ist da jetzt was reingekommen? Ah, tatsächlich. Erhöht den Angriffsschaden, aber auch die Menge an fallen gelassenem Sternstaub nach dem Tod. Ja, das ist ja nett. Okay. Gut, andererseits, das ist jetzt nicht mehr so wirklich relevant hier, ne? Aber dann ist es jetzt auch, glaube ich, kein wirklich extrem wichtiges Item auch gegen den Kampf, gegen den Boss.
The north wind blows to this. Do what must be done. There's no further guidance I can offer you.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
I overestimated the strength of both myself and the gem, and it almost ruined everything.
On the contrary, your gem was extremely useful. If not for that, we wouldn't have been able to break the mind control spell. But how on earth did you get your hands on an artifact being developed at Fallon Academy?
I took the shell, but I knew there wasn't enough magic in it. So I ventured into the glittering deeps and took the Titan spark to use as a core. That's how I finally completed the gem.
Ah, I see. It's impossible to defend against humanity's magic without the use of such things. I'm very impressed that you managed to pull that off right under his nose.
So what's next for you, mistress? What do you plan to do?
First, tell me how he seemed to you.
Well, he was still seeking atonement. It's difficult for him to cope, obtaining such great power all at once like that. The power of the Nexus has changed him, but I believe he hasn't shed his humanity just yet.
If he's still the same humanities, I don't know. I need to think.
Understood.
I must also apologize to you. When you first entered the city, I didn't trust you, and I wasn't willing to hear your plight. It was because of me that you had no choice but to seek aid through humanities. I'm terribly sorry.
Considering the circumstances, this issue is no longer important, mistress. There's no use in feeling guilt. We've all lost much over this. That's more than enough.
Your understanding is appreciated.
Thank you for your help just now.
It was nothing compared to what you did at the Temple of Mercy. If we can't stop Yumin today, everyone will become controlled, just like your father was. He's no longer someone we can reason with using words alone. We're counting on you. For the people.
Ja, da haben wir noch was zu mitnehmen. Und dann haben wir davon noch ein Echo. Ich befürchte, wir werden nochmal eine weitere Folge bedürfen, bevor wir hier die Eumenides hier dann konfrontieren können. Harolds Gegenangriff.
Impressive, Harold. You managed to fight back even when I had complete control. Unfortunately, you lost anyway. You have to use my amulet when you're in Aphes. Any attempted resistance is useless. I fulfilled my promise to let you take the artifact that will lift the king's curse, and I promised to let you deal with Hilda yourself. I must say, I am puzzled as to why you still betrayed me.
I must do my duty to fight any enemy of Anvari.
And I, forever. Once I rescue Aphes, I will bring a brighter future to the whole world. I'm going to build a free and equal new world, free of class division. You're just like the others, ignorant and foolish.
This isn't over.
What? You used the spellbreak gem. Do you have any idea of the consequences?
I'd rather die than let you control the Nexus. As commander of the Northwind Legion, I will not risk allowing you to become a threat to Anvari.
You underestimate the power of the Nexus. I was going to reunite you with your family on the Trinity night, but now is as good a time as any.
What?
Kill anyone who approaches the Nexus, including your daughter. Then kill yourself, Harold.
Yes, Master.
I can't waste my magic on others anymore.
Das war das Vorgeblinkel. Jetzt hatte ich doch hier gesehen, man kann hier nochmal so einen riesigen Ob man auf diesen riesigen Kreis da außen noch kommt? Mal gucken. Ah, da müsste man jetzt da... Ah, mal schauen. Nee, das ist abgesichert, unsichtbare Wände. Das ist der Nexus? Zumindest mal ist da vorne auch wieder so ein großer Strahl und hier haben wir nochmal einen Teleportstein. Auch sehr gut. Also die Lager sind voll. Da haben wir noch einen Ständigertsbrocken. Achso, da ist ein Abgrund dazwischen. Schade. Da ist nochmal ein Echo. Oh je. Oh je. Das Erwachen.
I did it. After merging with the Nexus, I've manifested my apparition for the first time.
Congratulations on retrieving your consciousness and taking control of a portion of the Nexus. My research on the Titan has finally made progress. That's why I can guide your consciousness to draw its power. I'm pleased my theory is proved right again. Even if you can only control a small part of the Nexus's power, it should be enough for you.
I can feel it. You're no longer an ordinary human. You're something beyond flesh, beyond magic, beyond the stars. I want to ask why you, but it doesn't matter now.
All the hard work I've done to awaken you has paid off. I am perplexed, though. Why is it that you're the one who merged with the Nexus? I would have been happier if it was Serene who ascended with me. Perhaps beyond this power lies something we call fate.
Where are you going?
I'm leaving Aphes. There's nothing I want here, and the truth I seek is far away. But before I go, let me ask, what are you going to do next?
I will save Aphes. I must repay the debt I owe this city. Now that I have the power to save them, I won't fail again.
Just as I expected. You're still a fool trapped in this tiny city. Anyway, farewell.
This time, I have to come up with something that's sure to succeed. I have to save everyone. I have to find a way that won't fail.
Und da fahren wir wahrscheinlich dann hoch. Ja, aber da das vermutlich nicht in den nächsten 2-3 Minuten zu erledigen ist, gibt es nochmal einen Break. Beim nächsten Mal dann möglicherweise mit dem letzten Bosskampf, mit dem Finale. Wir werden das herausfinden. Schaltet beim nächsten Mal wieder ein. Dann geht's weiter. Danke fürs Zuschauen und wir sehen uns wieder. Macht's gut. Ciao.